Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is the Way West Stand, and we're joined by a guest host filling in for Rhett Conway, Aaron Slater. Aaron, welcome to the channel. How you doing?
Thank you, Brian. It is a pleasure to be here. I am glad to be a part of what you guys are doing, and glad to fill in for Rhett for the week, and hopefully not too many more times because his presence is very known in the Way West stands. So
Yes, yeah. I mean, Rhett is really, taking it all. He's really gone all in on his Arsenal fandom of late and doing the show, organizing local viewing parties and everything. So that's fun. But I hear that you're as much an expert as him. So Arsenal, the tied their last Premier League game against Southampton. What did you see in this game?
well, first, Brian, no one ties; they draw.
They draw. See, this is part of the thing. I'm still very in the American mindset. Uh, we'll get there,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody, and
yeah.
I think that's part of the show, right? Where
Of course.
as I'm learning, the audience is hopefully learning and embracing. So yes, they had a 1-1 draw with Southampton. What did you see in this match?
Um, right from the get-go, Arsenal seemed very Arsenal. They played with fluidity. They had attacking style that they've always played. Quick passes, um, high press. All those sort of things you seem to expect from Arsenal. Nothing was changed as far as the last game that they played domestically against Leeds. They went with 4-1-4-1. Um, so, they came out. You're expected to win against the lower team.
Sure.
They had many opportunities in the first half, which they did capitalize on one. It was a very good worked goal. It started from the back from Aaron Ramsdale, and it was pushed all the way up through to Party, who eventually ended up finding Saka on the right, who saw a streaking and White was able to cross it in, and Xhaka go boom in the roof of the net. So,
Yes.
who doesn't love seeing Xhaka boom?
So yeah, as you said, Southampton is 16th place. I'm guessing the expectation was Arsenal's going to win, but what did Southampton do to stay in it and then to tie? Or sorry, to draw them, to draw them, tie the game, but draw the final.
Well, after the first goal was scored, a lot of the pundits believed that Southampton was going to run a 3-5-2.
Okay.
They didn't. They came out with a 4-3-3 or something to that fashion. So, at four in the back, and I think what ended up happening was Southampton was very dominated in the midfield up until second half. The formation shift allowed Southampton to be able to overload certain areas on the right and the left and have dominance in the middle in the midfield. I just think it ended up being Arsenal was tired. They've had 6 games, I want to say, this month already. It's been
Right.
crazy. It's almost like every 3 days they're rolling out a game.
Yeah.
And I want to say that, it came off of a counter. That's how Southampton scored. They came off of a counter, and Arsenal was playing well into the other team's half, and they just couldn't recover quick enough because they didn't have the legs. It's kind of one of those, your midfield didn't come back quick enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It-
So, sorry. Here you go.
Oh, it's okay. It's one of those kind of bummer things where there's too many shots. There was too many shots that could have been quality. I know I saw Jesus had a few. Who was it? Odegaard had a shot that he pulled wide of the post. It's just unlucky shots that they couldn't capitalize on. Essentially,
Mhm.
Arsenal and the quick counter attack from Southampton, they capitalized.
And speaking of Jesus, that's how you pronounce it, right? I completely did it
Jesus.
wrong
Yeah, he got it.
last time. So you said there was a missed penalty kick call on him. Can you kind of walk us through that and how it affected him?
I don't. Yes, it was a PK. I think personally it was a PK.
Okay.
He was definitely. He was bear hugged down on the ground. It should have been one of those,
Mhm.
it should have been a rugby match essentially. The
Right.
only thing that really saved Southampton's defender was the fact that he got a touch on the ball. I think that was the most critical thing he could have done. If he didn't get a touch on that ball, it was easy PK. But even at that rate, the touch didn't really redirect as well as it could have. So Jesus probably could have scored if he wasn't held back. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Mhm.
I know a lot of Arsenal fans were pretty annoyed that that wasn't called. And then there was
Right.
one later on against Tyranny, I want to say, where he was in the box and it floated ball to the back post and he got choked out by Ilienko,
Mhm.
um, who was an absolute menace, as one of somebody had said, Rhett, believe.
Mhm.
That should have been a PK. It would have been really nice to see Jesus step up to that spot and score and
Mhm.
break that goal drought. Um, I, that the ref, I think it was Robert Jones, and the VAR official. Oh my God, his name.
It's all
Peter
right if we don't
Banks.
have the
No,
name.
that's all right.
Yeah.
Peter Banks. They just didn't do their job. They need to be reviewed personally.
Calling them out here on the Way
Yeah,
West End. We're calling for their jobs.
at least just a review. I
Mhm.
mean, if they're doing bad enough, they should get sent down to the championship, and whoever's doing well in the championship should get called up to the Premier League. I mean, it's just like teams; they
Seems
should be
fair.
able to
Yeah.
get swapped.
Yeah. That seems fair to me. I mean, hey, it's a lot like before we were recording, we were talking about. It's very different for me, this relegation stuff. But I mean, if the teams are at risk, the refs, the officials should as well. So, what do you think Arsenal can fix going into their next match to kind of avoid this kind of an outcome?
I would say that they probably need to better squad rotate,
Mm,
or in the winter they'd have to go out and buy depth.
mm,
There's another transfer window from January 1st to January 31st where you can buy players there. Depth is a huge key in the Premier League, especially with the amount of trophies you have to do. You've got, I want to say, you got the FA Cup. There we go, and the Carabao Cup,
mm,
and then you have your own domestic league. And if you're in Europe, you got that. So there's four right there. I don't know how
mm.
players stay fit. I It's incredible.
Yeah.
But to the point, they're gonna have to squad rotate or play more of a. I don't want to adopt a counter-attacking play, but more of a style where it's slow pace, more possession.
Mm.
Swing it around instead of very high tempo like they can show to be.
All right, and then post game interviews. What were your thoughts on those?
I mean, Arteta hit the point.
Mm,
They dropped points. They dropped 2 points. They got a little lazy, it looked like, and I mean that might have just because they're tired. Uh, he said, I'm paraphrasing here, there was plenty of big chances, big opportunities, and if you don't take those in the Premier League, you're going to pay the price, and they did.
mhm.
Um, I think everybody watching saw what he was saying.
Right.
Jesus had the same comments where, you know, he felt that they should have won. I think a lot of the players that I had listened to, Ben White said the same thing, that, you know, it was dropped points. It was very, for lack of a better terms, it was a bummer.
Right. All right. Well, is there anything else for this match that you'd like to go over? Any other overarching ideas?
I feel like Ilyenko definitely should have also been carded. Not more than a yellow. There was blatant fouls that they missed. There was the one against Nketiah, I want to say, where, you know, they were getting a little handsy, and Ilyenko fouled. Was it the other way around? I think it might have been the other way around. But either way, when Ilyenko got up from the ground, he tried to deliberately headbutt. But somehow the ref missed it, and then caught part of the fact that he grabbed his throat too. Again, if you're putting hands on players to the throat or the head section, automatic red. You
Right.
can't be doing that. That looks bad.
No, especially in soccer / football, you can't. This is not the type of game where people are choking each other out.
No, of course not. It's, you're not bringing out the WWE here. It's
Right.
But
No,
overall, you know, Arsenal could have done better, and I think the fans know it, the players know it, everybody knows that they should have done better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a little bit of a disappointment, but hey, I mean, they're still atop the league as of now with 28 points. So
Yep.
2 up on Man City. Things could be worse, right?
Sure, of course. I mean, they could be, you know, in the bottom of the league, which will, you know, never
We'll
happen.
get there.
At least for that, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got PSV tomorrow at Eindhoven, which is in the Netherlands, for Europa, and they had won against them previously, 1-0. Xhaka had a nice boom again. Xhaka goes boom all the time.
Yes.
Had plenty of shot opportunities again, just like in Southampton. Had plenty of shot opportunities, just block shots or, you know, everything's fractions. It just couldn't get it in the back of the net except for Xhaka.
Right. All right. Well, is there anything you'd like to plug? Any social media? Anything? Floor is yours for any promotion you'd like to do.
Yeah, I would. I'd like to, you know, promote Welcome to the Villa.
Yes. So, explain that.
So we are doing a new podcast with you guys as a Villa fan.
Yes.
And dissecting Villa as they go through the seasons. You know, I've been a fan of Villa for a while, and I finally get to express how much I love them.
Yes. So, same format as Way West Stand. We're just going to be talking about is Aston Villa? Is that how you pronounce
Aston
that?
Villa, yep.
Aston Villa. Obviously, like Aaron said, he's a huge fan, and as I've said on this show, I'm just trying to get in on the Premier League. I feel like soccer / football is gonna get more popular in the States over the next few years, as well as like our most popular sport, football, is kind of pretty dangerous. I don't know how long football is going to be around, at least in the current state that it's in. So I'm trying to get in quick, and I'm excited. So we're going to record that right after this, and then when you're listening to this, it will come out an hour later tomorrow, but today for you listening. So yeah, Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It's been a joy.
Of course. Yes, it's been very fun. And yeah, for all of you, please check out the Albany Gunners on Facebook and Instagram. I will include links in the description to this video. Rhett is running those groups, so if you're in the Albany area and you want to get together with fellow Arsenal fans to watch the game, go check that out. So other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.